v61. इयानेव प्राणिभोग सिद्धये लोकयिष्यते इतः परस्तात् द्विगुणा पृथिव्या लोकवर्जिता. So Bhujju's question was about parikshitaha. So actually it pertains to the lokas earned by those who perform the Ashwamedha Yaga. But deliberately the word parikshita was used to confuse Yajnavalkya. Of course Yajnavalkya being the one who knows everything. So he had answered, and not only answered his question, he goes further to give the expanse of the lokas that means where these the persons who perform the Ashwamedha Yaga go. For this certain dimension is given. What is that? 32 times the distance traversed by sun per day. Per day means what? 24 hours. Day and night is the distance up to which the rays of the sun travels. See, the sun travels certain distance. Sun travels certain distance means you will say sun is stationary. But from for appearance standpoint, what appears to be traversed by that, 32 times that distance is covered by the rays of the sun. This is one dimension. This much loka is fit for living of all the living beings. It is what is called prani bhoga siddhaye iyaneva lokaha ishyate. This much is accepted as the fit, that means world for the living beings to survive. This is one measure. Now, itah parastat, beyond this, dviguna prithivya loka varjita. Here Prithvi has to be taken as the word. Double this is what? Aloka varjita. Because, see, here aloka means what? Light. Sunlight is there up to this point. Beyond that, double the region, there is no sunlight. So these two lokas we have got. One loka wherein sunlight is there. Beyond that, double the dimension, sunlight is not there. Let us proceed further now. Antaraloka yukta san bahiraloka varjitaha. Loka loka girir madhe prithivyoranayo sthitaha. Anayoho prithivyoho madhe madhe antaha alokayuktaha san bahihi alokavarjitaha lokagirihi sthitaha. Antaha alokayuktaha san bahihi आलोकवर्जितः लोकगिरिः स्थितः. अनयोः पृथिव्योः मध्ये. Between these two prithvis, here prithvis in the sense of lokas. What are those two lokas? One which has got sunlight, other double its dimension without the sunlight. Between these two, madhe, what is there? He says, there is Lokagirihi sthitaha. There is a mountain by name Lokaloka. What is this Lokaloka? Because, see, it is the name of the mountain. So why it is called Lokaloka? The reason is given in the first line. Antaha alokayuktaha san bahihi alokavarjitaha. This is a mountain, inside is the light, but outside there is no light. So the loka That's why antaha aloka yuktaha san, being light, being within, but bahihi outside, aloka varjitaha, it is devoid of light. Therefore it is called as what? Lokaloka girihi. So lokaloka girihi. Now this one thing you have to keep in mind. So these descriptions given are only agamaikadhigamya. What is agamaikadhigamya? Can be known only through agama, through only Veda pramana. Actually, even when Bhujju asked the question, he said, I have learned something from Gandharva. Why you can't get this knowledge just like that? It is only from Vedas. So therefore, because this cannot be pursued by us directly, nor it is a matter of inference, etc. So therefore, it is only agamaika adhigamya that can be known only through the pramana of Vedas. So that is, therefore, what is described there it has to be taken that way only. So this mountain is there, which is called as Lokaloka Girihi. Now here, the author points out some contradiction between what is told in the Shruti about these lokas and what is told in the Puranas. And he resolves that is there. So we may not know because we don't know much of the Shruti as such and what is told in the Puranas also. Author Vidyaranya Muni knows about this, and just passingly he refers to the contradiction between these two and why it can be so. Also he gives the answer and he proceeds further, because that is not the main context or topic here. So what is the contradiction? Says Samudro dviguno bhumir ghano dakhyo bahistitaha Andad bahirghano doyamiti pauranika jaguhu. Bhumehe dvigunaha ghanodakhyah samudraha. Bhumehe dvigunaha ghanodakhyah samudraha. Bahihi sthitaha ayam ghanodaha andad bahihi ghanodaha andad bahihi iti pauranikaha jaguhu iti pauranikaha jaguhu. Bhumehe dvigunaha, double the size of the Bhumi Prithvi. What is that? Ghanodakhyah samudra. There is an ocean by name Ghanoda. See, Ghanoda is Akhyam is called. Ghanoda is the name of the ocean. Ghana means what? Dense. Means dense. You can't say that ocean is in some ocean there is what? Rare water, other dense water. You can't say it must be very expansive in like Pacific, etc. Pacific will not come here because it will be much more bigger than that. So Ghanodaha, or by name Ghanoda. So Samudraha, and what is the dimension? Bhumehe Dvigunaha, double the size of the earth. So there is it. Akhya means by name. Samudra. Bahihi Sthitaha. It is outside. Outside what? Outside Brahmanda. Brahmanda means Virat Deha. So double the size of the earth. An ocean is that. Where is it? Outside the Brahmanda means outside the Virat Deha. Fine. Bahi Sitaha. Then, now, who say that it is outside Brahmanda Virat Deha? Pauranikas say. Ayam Ghanoda, this particular ocean called Ghanoda, Andad Bahihi. It is outside the Anda. Brahmanda means Virat Deha. It is so. Who says so? Pauranikaha Jaguhu. So Pauranikas say so. In Puranas it is found so. Now, according to Shruti it is inside. According to Pauranikas it is outside. Who is correct now? Generally, what is the rule? Shruti is more powerful if something is there is a contradiction between Shruti and Smriti. Purana is Smriti. So what is to be upheld? Shruti has to be upheld. So Shruti has to be upheld, but still the author has got some point that what is told by Puranas is correct. Then why Shruti has said so? So he says there is a point. The Shruti has given it for Upasana. So Shruti's intention is not to give you a topographical description. It has given you for some Upasana, maybe. So therefore he gives a conclusion about that, or he brings forth his opinion. Puranam badhyate shrutya dhyanartha va shrutirmata sarvatha penda rupoyam vairajo deha ishyatam. So he gives two the conclusions. Shrutya Puranam Badhyate. Shrutihi Dhyanartha va Mata. Shrutihi Dhyanartha va Mata. Shrutihi Dhyanartha va Mata. Sarvatha api ayam andarupaha vairajaha dehaha ishyatam. Sarvatha api ayam andarupaha vairajaha dehaha ishyatam. Shrutya Puranam badhyate. See, this is the first rule. What is that? Shruti invalidates the Purana, which is Smriti. This one means what is told by Shruti is correct and what is told by Purana is not that very correct. So therefore, Shrutya, the first the conclusion is by Shruti, Purana is Badhyate, means is invalidated. Shruti is correct, Purana is not that correct. Maybe for some purpose they have told. Or it can be Shruti Dhyanartha va Mata. What is told by Shruti is considered for Upasana. Dhyana here is Upasana. For some Upasana have to be taken to, and therefore Shruti has told so. Tvam, Samantam, etc. that is told in the Shruti, which takes it as within the Brahmanda. So what is told by Shruti takes it as the within the Brahmanda. So possibly either Shruti is correct or Shruti has told it for the sake of Upasana. He says, let us not bother, that is not our topic here at all. Sarvatha api. Whether Shruti is correct and Purana is not, or Purana is correct and Shruti has given for Upasana sake, whatever it may be, in either case, ayam andarupaha vairajaha deha. Whatever this is called as Brahmanda is certainly one thing. Vairajaha deha means Virat deha. What you can call as Brahmanda is what? Virat deha. That is what the Pakka. So that is deha iti ishyatam. Dehaha ishyatam. Ishyatam angikriyatam. Let this be accepted that this is that by in either case Brahmanda is Virat Deha. The context is to give the loka that is enjoyed or experienced or taken to by these people who perform Ashwamedha Yaga. So now, where is this loka where these people who have successfully performed Ashwamedha Yaga go? With this background that is now described. Yondad bahistito vayus sutratmeti shrutiritaha Eshoshvamedha krita punya paripako na chaparaha. Krita punya, join it. It is not separate. Ashwamedha krita punya paripakaha. यः अंडात् बहिः स्थितः श्रुतिरितः सूत्रात्मा इति वायुः। यः अंडात् बहिः स्थितः श्रुतिरितः सूत्रात्मा इति वायुः। एषः अश्वमेधकृतः पुण्यपरिपाकः अपरः न च। अपरः न च। यः अंडात् बहिः स्थितः, यः अंडात् यः the one who is outside the anda. What is anda? Brahmanda. What is Brahmanda? Virat Deha. What is outside the Virat Deha Sitaha? Who is he? Shrutiritaha. Shrutya irita. Told by Shruti as what? Sutratma iti vayu. Sutratma is who? Hiranyagarbha. So whatever Shruti says as Sutratma, Hiranyagarbha, with Vayu, means a Sukshma Sarupa. Actually, Hiranyagarbha doesn't have the gross body. Sthula Deha is not there. Sthula Deha is for whom? This Virat. In Kanva Vidya Prakasha has seen. He is a Sukshma. So, Samashti Suksha Sharira is. So, therefore, and again, outside means also means independent of Virat. Virat has to depend on Hiranyagarbha, but Hiranyagarbha is independent of Virat. See, in the chronology of the creation, first in Kanu Vidya we have said, first who is created? Hiranyagarbha. Then for Bhoga what is required? Gross body. Then comes the picture of the Virat. So therefore, he is, and who is more pervasive now? Hiranyagarbha, who is subtle. So therefore, independent also, outside also means more pervasive and also independent. So yaha andad bahi, one who is beyond the purview, periphery of Virat Deha, and what whom the Shruti calls as what? Sutratma, who is the nature of Vayu, because it's prana only, Vayu. So eshaha, this Hiranyagarbha is what? Ashwamedha krita punya paripakaha. This is the fructification of the punya earned by who? Ashwamedha yajinaha. Ashwamedha yajina. Aparaha nacha. There is no other loka for this. Means apara means none of the lower lokas are meant for Ashwamedha yagi, because highest Ashwamedha yagi get the highest loka. This is the loka for them and not anything less of these. Nacha aparaha nacha. Then how they go there? By what? Concorde, or which flight they go there? Or they go riding on the elephant or chariot? How do they go there? So let us see now. And is there any highway? So straight away go there. What are the vehicles they use, etc. Let us see. Shuradharadyupamita sandiryondakapalayo. Tena bahena yattetan ashwamedhasya devata. Andakapalayoho yaha sandhi. See, their sandhi breaking is sandhi yaha andakapalayoho. So andakapalayoho yaha sandhi, add saha kshuradharadyupamitaha. Kshuradharadyupamitaha Ashwamedhasya devata etan tena bahye nayati. Etan tena bahye nayati. Andakapalayoho yaha sandhihi. Whatever that is, sandhi means gap in the sense, the joining portion. See, See, dawn and dusk, these are sandhi period. Why? Dawn between the night and the day, dusk between the day and the night. That is the joining periods. So here joining portion here. So that is what? That is in the intervening portion of what? Anda kapalayoho. Andasya kapalayoho. Kapala means piece or lid or cover. So as if two halves of Brahmanda, Anda is warrior, Brahmanda. Two halves of Brahmanda are there, or let us say, first the loka which is enjoyed by who, which is fit for experiencing by all living beings together. Otherwise double, etc. And still further. Some covering also. Between that, what is that? Yaha sandhihi. Whatever gap or whatever intervening portion is there. And how big is it? Is a royal highway? No. Kshuradhara dyupamitaha. It is compared, upama, illustration for that is what? How narrow it is. Kshuradhara, like the edge of a sword. A sharp sword is there. How its edge is so, that is narrow, so Adi is there. Adi, do you know what is that? Makshika patra. What is Makshika patra? Wing of a fly. The wing of a fly, how thin it is, how narrow it is, so thin is, what is it? That gap. And from that they have to go. How will they go? You know where it is? Dwarka. There is what is called Bet Dwarka. You know, Bet Dwarka means you have to go through this, and it is like island. So it is said that Krishna's original palace was that only as. There is one Dhvajastambha, huge, it's a brass Dhvajastambha, I think. So general custom is you have to go round the Dhvajastambha. But at one side there is a wall. One side there is a wall. And it is not, gap is not big. You have to sneak through it. They say those who can go through, those who can't, they are papis. They are papis. Those who can sneak through are what Punyavantas. I tried, I could sneak through. Because, see, one thing, my head is big, okay? Even that, it is not that way. It is a very narrow. It is very narrow. Not that I am slim, etc., etc. No, even then also, even this also, I think my head itself can get caught up there. Is such a thing. But I don't know, I could sneak through, etc. So like this. So at least it may be 4 or 5 inch or so. But this is what. so subtle as the Shuradhara or Makshika Patra. So that is how iti upamitaha. So illustration is given. So now how they go? There is arrangement. What is the arrangement? Carriers are there. Which carriers? Not your private and public carriers. So there are devatas appointed for that purpose. They take them. So therefore it says Ashwamedhasya devata. Certain deities, presiding deities, who are specially appointed for this purpose of taking those jivas who have performed Ashwamedha Yaga successfully through that sandhi to where? To the Hiranyagarbha Loka. So therefore they say Ashwamedhasya devata etan. To these people, who are those who have properly performed the Ashwamedha Yaga, Tena means from that sandhi, from that gap. So what they do? Bahe nayati. They take outside. Outside means where? To Hiranyagarbha Loka. Because outside is said from the standpoint of the earlier lokas which are available. They take to the because earlier, and also Yaha Andat Bahistitaha. The Hiranyagarbha is outside Virat, they was told. So they take outside it, they take to Hiranyagarbha Loka. What happens there to them? Te vayu bhava mapanna samashti vyashti rupataha. अंडात् बहिस्तदन्तश्च तिष्ठन्त्यखिलरूपिणः ते वायुभावम् आपन्नाः समष्टिवेष्टिरूपतः अंडात् बहिः तदन्तश्च अखिलरूपिणः सन्तः तिष्ठन्ति. So te vayubhavaमापन्नाः समष्टिवेष्टिरूपतः अन्वय as it is. अंडात् बहिः तदन्तश्च then take अखिलरूपिणः सन्तः सन्तः to be added तिष्ठन्ति. अखिलरूपिणः सन्तः तिष्ठन्ति. Te, those people, who are those? Ashwamedha Yajinaha Ashwamedha Kritaha, those who have properly performed the Ashwamedha Yaga. So what they do? Vayubhavam Apannaha. So taking the form of Vayu means so Hiranyagarbha. So having taken that is having taken the Rupa, Swarupa of Hiranyagarbha or nature of Hiranyagarbha. How? Samashti Veshti Rupataha. Both in the form of macrocosm and also microcosm, means at individual level and also totality level. What is Samashti Veshti Rupa will be explained in the stanza 68. Samashti Veshti Rupataha, what they do? Andat Bahihi Tadantascha. Where do they remain? Both outside the Brahmanda and also inside the Brahmanda. Andat Bahi means outside Virat Deha. Also Tadantaha cha, inside the Virat Deha. But how they remain? Akhila Rupinaha Santaha Tishthanti. They remain assuming the form of everyone. See, what was the purpose of this Brahmana, Bhuji Brahmana? Not even to canvass Hiranyagarbha Loka. What is the purpose? To point out that even the result of Ashwamedha Yaga, which is the highest one, which is Hiranyagarbha Loka, is also within the realm of Samsara, therefore better develop Vairagya for that. Because next Brahmana is going to be the Atma Jnana is going to start. But for Atma Jnana, what is required? This Vairagya is necessary. In Vairagya, the highest thing that can be aspired is what? Hiranyagarbha Loka. Even that is within the realm of Samsara, and therefore what was the word used for that? Mrityu. It's the realm of Mrityu, Ati Mrityu, all these Graha, Ati Grahas were told. It is the realm of Samsara, better develop Vairagya for it. From that standpoint it is given. Not that Shruti is not interested in telling you all the details of the Ashwamedha, the Yaga, result, etc. It's not there. So therefore, so Samashti Veshti Rupataha, the Akhila Rupinaha Santaha, being the form is because Virat, no, Hiranyagarbha abides in the individual and also total. See, in each and every one, Suksharira is what? Part of Hiranyagarbha. So that's why it's called as Sutratma. Independent also, outside also is that is what is said, Samashti Veshti Rupataha, Akhila Rupinaha, Tishtanti, remain. What is the meaning of Samashti and Veshti? Now that is explained in 68. Adhyatmadi vibhagena vyaptir veshtiriti rita. Samastatvena samvyaptis samashtiriti kirtita. अध्यात्मादि विभागेन व्याप्तिः व्यष्टिः इति ईरिता. समस्तत्वेन संव्याप्तिः समष्टिः इति कीर्तिता. अध्यात्मादि विभागेन. In terms of these divisions, what are those? Adhyatma Adi. What is Adi? Adhibhuta and Adhidaiva. So Adhyatma centered around these individual bodies, Adhibhuta other bodies around other bodies, and Adhidaiva, that is phenomenal power presiding deity. Yaha samashti veshti rupam upasti. The one who does upasana of this. What is that? Samashti veshti rupa. Individual and total form of Hiranyagarbha means Hiranyagarbha at the individual level and also totality level. Rupa of who? Hiranyagarbha. Upaste does upasana means one who takes the upasana of Hiranyagarbha as samashti and also veshti, presence at both levels. So what happens? It's only a way of saying means one who takes to Hiranyagarbha upasana or does the Hiranyagarbha Hiranyagarbha upasana. And this Hiranyagarbha upasana will be a part of the Ashwamedha Yaga or Ashwamedha upasana. Don't take a separate one as such. It is connected to Ashwamedha Yaga only. So what happens to him? Asau, this upasaka, Mritaha is when dies, Sakrut. Sakrut means at once or always. There is no doubt about it. It's a pakka. So therefore, Sakrut at once, what does happens to him? He says, Sakrut, Mritaha, Hiranyagarbha bhutva. Becoming the Hiranyagarbha means this is the highest phala that can be gained in samsara. Nothing can be superior to this. Highest one. Nothing is superior to this. Hiranyagarbha bhutva. Atha, thereafter what happens? Muchyate. Kramamukti he has got. In course of time, at the end of kalpa, gets freed from the samsara. Whereas natu mriyate. See, he is liberated, but he said, doesn't die. What do you mean by doesn't die? Doesn't get subjected to marana is for janma also. Doesn't get subjected to janma marana rupa samsara. No further travel for him, no further samsara for him. So he gets freed from janma marana rupa samsara. So this is the highest phala that can be gained through the means given in the Shruti. So what is to be done now? Aspire for that. Number one phala, better give up that also. Why? Something much higher than that is there, and not to be something to be gained by doing this and that. That is your really the Swarupa. So therefore it says, why all this was described in Pujya Brahmana. The final purpose is given. Samsarotkarsha simetham varnita jnana karmaja. Ito viraktamalaksha varnyate swatma nirnayaha. Itham, see, sandhi, samsarotkarsha simetham. It should be itham, sandhi is like this. Itham jnana karmaja samsarotkarsha sima varnita. Itham jnana karmaja samsarotkarsha sima varnita. Itaha viraktam alaksha swatmanirnayaha varnyate. Itaha viraktam alaksha swatmanirnayaha varnyate. Itaha, no, itham is in this manner. So what is described in the Shruti? Jnana karmaja samsarotkarsha sima varnita. This is described. What is described? Samsarotkarsha sima. The boundary of the highest that can be gained in the samsara. Utkarsha means what? Something higher accomplishment. highest accomplishment in samsara that can be gained, it's Brahma. Gained how? Jnana karmaja. Born of jnana and karma. Be careful here. Here jnana is not Atma jnana, Brahma jnana. Jnana means upasana. Here jnana means upasana. So upasana also is called jnana. So the highest result that can be gained by karma and upasanas is what? This Hiranyagarbha, one with Hiranyagarbha, and in course of time that is what getting freed from this. So other thing, other way also is that not that all go to Hiranyagarbha Loka get Krama Mukti. There are also other varieties depending on the type of sadhana, they return after in the next kalpa. In this kalpa they do remain there up to the end of the kalpa, but again get returned to Janma Marana Rupa Samsara. But this is the highest result. So, Varnita, so it is that. What for it is described by Shruti? Shruti doesn't want to use its salesmanship that so that you can try for Hiranyagarbha Loka. Better develop Vairagya for this also. It says, Itaha Viraktam Alaksha. Considering a person who has got Vairagya for even this Hiranyagarbha Loka, what is being now in next Brahmana, what is going to be taught is Swatma Nirnayaha Varnyati. Ascertainment of the Atma Swarupa is going to be described in the next Brahmana, that is fourth Brahmana called as Ushastha Brahmana. So, all this Bhujyu Brahmana, which deals with the result of Ashwamedha Yaga in terms of Hiranyagarbha Loka, was only to inculcate the Vairagya for that Hiranyagarbha Loka also, because that also is in the realm of samsara. There is no higher result than this. So therefore better get rid of samsara. So this is the purpose of this third Brahmana, Bhujyu Brahmana. With this the Bhujyu Brahmana is over. So what happened now? Bhujyu Brahmana is over means what? One contestant is less for whom? Yajnavalkya. The fellow is now thrown out. So, what is this? Vijigishu Katha. There is debate going on. But because it is organized by who? Janaka, and Janaka's purpose is for not simply debating. He wants to know who is the Brahmanishta so that others can get benefited by his knowledge. Otherwise, best thing is to avoid argument. It's the Vikshepa only. You know, there is Navadvipa, you know. Navadvipa is the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born. It was a place of great scholars. And these scholars in those days had a habit of what? Going here and there and challenging other scholars and what? Proving their supremacy. So what these people, that scholars nearby, I think Hali Shahar or something, it is also called Kumar Hatta or Kumar Hatti it is called now. So there was a place. So they wanted to challenge these scholars and show their supremacy. So a group of them came. And the scholars here came to know what purpose they have come. They didn't want to enter into argument. Because unnecessary saying it, so that at the same time they can't avoid them. So they hit upon a plan. What they did? They got hold of it, that it was a place of pot makers. They got hold of a young, dynamic and very skillful pot maker and briefed them something. What was the plan? This pot maker has to disguise himself as a maid servant, okay, with sari, etc. Has to disguise himself as a maid servant and go to, because they have to pitch their camp, no, they will need some maid servant, etc. and offer the services of them. That was it. And what is to be done next day was all prompted, they were prompted. And along with that, one child is there. Child is not totally a child, about 4 or 5 years child, as if to be posed as what? Her son. Her son means the pot maker. That child has to pose as her son, and this pot maker has to pose as what? Maid servant. And he was prompted properly. So he went and offered his service. They wanted someone to help them. Very good, etc. And he took them. Next day morning, early dawn has broken. At dawn, what happened? Crows are crowing at that time. And what this so-called maid servant did, he didn't went to attend those. He was busy in his own work, yes, sir. And the child came and started, "Mummy, mummy, mummy, why these crows are crowing?" So why these crows are crowing? So, did you hear crowing? That's why I said. Okay. Now, so Bhagwan has said to show you, okay, crowing. So now this who? The so-called mother with that pot maker. What do I know? I'm an illiterate person. Say, ask their scholars, they are there. The child also was prompted as well. So it's loudly so that they should hear that. So I'm an illiterate person, what do I know? Go and ask the scholars. The child went and asked, why these crows are crowing? They said, what do we know? Maybe it is because of morning dawn that it was crowing. We don't know. They say, what do we know, etc. So it was posed that the child is not dissatisfied with the answer. Came back to the so-called mother, etc. and started pestering. Why they are crowing? Why they are crowing, etc. So everything was prompted. And what? The so-called mother silenced the child. Timirari stamohanti shanka kulita manasaha vayam kaka iti jalpanti vayasa. See, timirari stamohanti shanka kulita manasaha vayam kaka iti jalpanti vayasaha. You don't know. The scholars understood the meaning. I will tell you. Say, what he said was, Timiraris tamohanti. Timira means what? Darkness. Ari means who? Enemy. The enemy of the darkness. Who is the enemy of darkness? Surya, sun. What does he do? Tamaha hanti. He is destroying the darkness. Tamaha darkness. Now, Shanka kulita manasaha. Those who vayasaha. Vayasaha means what? Crows. Crows who started doubting why, what is their color? They are dark. And this Timirari, sun may destroy them also. So, because as part and parcel of what the night, so Shanka Kulita Manasaha, with the mind in doubt whether we also, because we are dark and this Timirari, sun can destroy, say, Vayam Kaka, we are who? We are crows, we are not the darkness, we are crows. It is Panti Vayasa. So are who? Prattling who? These crows. Scholars heard. What? This illiterate person knows this much. They came. Where did you learn all these things? He was prompted properly. What do I know? I stay near the scholars' habitation and I work there, etc. And they always discuss this thing, something I have picked up. They understood. If a maid servant can pick up this much from these scholars, how great the scholars can be. They decamped and they ran away. So they didn't want to argue with these scholars as such. So like that, this is not that way. So they are only for the sake, because they are vikshepa. Best thing is not to care. Generally, one thing you should keep in mind. Don't argue about the existence of God, Atma, Brahma, with the people who don't know anything about that. Honestly, don't create vikshepancy. You tell them, this is a very good answer given by Satya Sai Baba. You tell them, look, your foolishness with yourself, my foolishness with myself. Let us have perfect understanding. You mind your business, I mind my business. Don't enter into arguments about the existence of the God and Atma, Brahma, because they will never understand it, but they will go on arguing in such a way that you will get vikshepa for days together. Best thing is have a good thing. Offer a cup of coffee and send in. That's all. So that's all. So have a good relation, but what? That's all. So like this, it has to be avoided. But here, it is in the court of Janaka, and certainly the Brahma Vidya is going to surface now. So up to this, what is the limitation of the highest result that can be gained in the samsara was told, and those who have got virakti in this, the Swatma Nirnaya, Atma Sarupa Nirnaya is going to be unfolded in the forthcoming Brahmana, fourth Brahmana. So it is Ushasta Brahmana from here from 71 to 132. 71 to 132. चतुर्थ ब्राह्मणे मोक्ष योग्य कर्तृत्व वर्जितः विषयो ब्रह्म विद्याया अस्त्यात्मेति निरूप्यते चतुर्थ ब्राह्मणे मोक्षयोग्यः कर्तृत्ववर्जितः ब्रह्मविद्यायाः विषयः आत्मा अस्ति इति निरूप्यते आत्मा अस्ति इति निरूप्यते चतुर्थ ब्राह्मणे in the fourth brahmana. What is the topic now? This is going to be unfolded. What is it? Atma nirupyate. Atma asti iti nirupyate. So means there is Atma. What type of Atma it is? The nature of Moksha Yogya. See, Atma is described like this. Moksha Yogya. Atma is fit for moksha means abidance in whom gives the moksha. Number one, this is nature. Kartrutva varjitaha. Free from kartrutva, bhoktrutva, samsara. So kartrutva upalakshana is upalakshana for entire samsara. Free from samsara. Kartrutva varjitaha. So again, it is Brahma Vidyayaha Vishayaha. The topic of Brahma Vidya. So such Atma asti, such Atma is there. Iti nirupyate is being described. Means Atma which is fit for moksha, free from kartrutva, bhoktrupa, samsara, and this a topic of Brahma Vidya. That Atma is what being described in the ascertainment of that is being described in this fourth Brahmana, that is Ushasta Brahmana from here from 71 to 132. Ahandi karma shastrabhyam drishte drashana siddhyati किंतु दृष्ट्यादि संयुक्तेर ब्रह्मतास्य विरुध्यते. There is संयुक्ते, one reading. Other reading is संयुक्तः. दृष्ट्यादि संयुक्तः, alternate reading, both can be taken. Then ब्रह्मतास्य विरुद्धते. Take the अन्वय first line as it is. अहंधी कर्मशास्त्राभ्याम दृष्टे द्रष्टा न सिद्ध्यति किंतु दृष्ट्यादि संयुक्ते और दृष्ट्यादि संयुक्तः अस्य ब्रह्मता विरुध्यते. Asya brahmata viruddhate. By these two things, or by these two things. Ahandhi karma shastrabhyam. Ahandhi is one, karma shastra other thing. Karma shastra stands for karma kanda portion of the Vedas. And ahandhi, actually, what is ahandhi? What is ahandhi? Ahankara. So here not actually ahankara. Ahankara is upalakshana for pratyaksha pramana, direct perception. see, I hear, I taste, I touch, I smell, I infer also. Inference also such thing. Means that which can be known through the perception and inference, etc., the other pramanas. The Vedic Veda pramana of Veda, then the Shruti pramana. So where ahankara is involved, so ahandi means ahandi rupa pratyakshena paramanena, by the pratyaksha pramana, wherein I, ahankara is required or not. For perception, identification of the body is required. So that with that. So ahandi karma shastra abhyam, either by pratyaksha, and pratyaksha means other things also. Inference and all other pramanas will come except the Shruti pramana, or by karma kanda portion of the Shruti. He says this cannot be known. What cannot be known? Drishte drashta na siddhyati. Na siddhyati, literally not accomplished, but not accomplishment here means is not known. Na avagamyate. Na siddhyati means na avagamyate, is not known. So by what? By pratyaksha pramana or other pramanas depending on that, or by karma kanda portion of the Shruti, drishte drashta na siddhyati. The drashta of drishti is not known. Who is drashta of drishti? Drishte drashta. You have to know what is drishti. What is drishti? You should be able to tell me. See, Brihadaranyaka has already proceeded. What is drishti? Generally drishti is what? Sight. But it is not confined to sight is one, but it is not confined to sight. Any vishayakara antakarana vritti. A vishayakara antakarana vritti which gives you the cognition of that particular vishaya. Now you are listening to me. Shabdakara antakarana vritti takes place. Something is smelled. Gandhakara antakarana vritti. Touch. Sparshakara antakarana vritti. So all these vishayakara antakarana vritti, rupakara also vishaya, is what is called as what? Drishti. So this is the, in Brihadaranyaka this word is drishti. Actually drishte drashta is the phrase of Brihadaranyaka only. So the drashta, the seer means illuminator, the one who makes you know the vishayakara antakarana vritti. What is it? What is that? Sakshi Chaitanya. Because vishayakara, any antakarana vrittis are inert in nature. That which makes you know is nothing but Chaitanya only. So therefore, drishte drashta means the drashta, the illuminator of the all vishayakara antakarana vritti means Atma. Sakshi means Chaitanya Rupa Atma. By pratyakshadi pramana or karma kanda, na siddhyati, cannot be known. Why it cannot be known? The reason is given, this in the second line. Whereas because what you can perceive or what you can gain through karma kanda is not that Atma is endowed with upadhi and all other features only. So therefore, kintu, whereas drishyadi sanyuktehe, means if, because it is endowed with drishyadi, it is endowed with the vishayakara antakarana vritti means what? Shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha. What you can perceive is endowed with the shabda sparsha rupa rasa gandha. What you can gain in terms of karma kanda is also is what? Whether even the swarga or whatever it may be is endowed with shabda sparsha rupa rasa, not Atma. So therefore, that is drishyadi sanyuktehe means by those two. By what those two? Ahandi and Kashastra. What you get is only, what you know is only that which is endowed with the drishyadi. Here drishti has to be taken as what? Rupa, rasa, gandha, shabda, sparsha. So therefore what? Asya, what you can know through that, brahmata viruddhyati. That what you perceive through that cannot be Brahma. Why? Brahma is free from shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. If that is sanyuktehe. So if you take sanyuktaha, kintu sanyuk drishyadi sanyuktaha, you have to take with siddhyati. What can be known by this Ahandi and Karma Shastra is the one who is that is endowed with Drishti, Drishti, Rupa, Rasa, Shabda, Gandha, Sparsha. So that is not Brahmatva, and therefore Asya, whatever that is experienced through Ahandi and Karma Shastra, its Brahmata, status of being Brahma is what? Contradicted, is opposed, because Brahma is free from these. So that is how this cannot be known. So therefore, what is to be known now? Atma is to be known, Atma Swarupa has to be ascertained. From that standpoint, now Ushasta is going to ask, but before asking the question about the ascertainment of Atma Swarupa, he is introducing, this is what is Brahma.